Solomon, and I have the distinct honor of being this guy's wife, which I am very, very proud to say. You may have recognized me from some videos that have been posted on social media, some pictures on websites, and I'm hoping that I get a chance to meet you even more over the course of the evening and over the course of the next few months, and really just, get you all to know James the way I know James, because I think James is amazing. So I would now like to introduce to you all the love of my life, your future council, Ward E representative, person, councilman, and I'm going to hand it over to the star of the show, James Solomon.
So tall.
We got to see into the back. We got to see into the back. So thank you, love. Appreciate it. Thank you all for being here tonight. It means a lot to me that you guys are here. It sort of fills me with gratitude, with joy. I see people from all walks of my life: high school, college, family, Hillary campaign. It's really, I can't tell you how much it means to me and how special it makes me feel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It also makes me feel, as Gabby said, pretty fired up. Because what I see in this room is a team that can change the politics and the policies of Jersey City. Now, I'm going to take about 10 minutes to tell you a little bit about who I am, but more importantly, what we can do together. And I'm going to start by just, giving you a little fun facts. And a lot of you are going to know the answer to the question I'm about to ask. So if you do know the answer, please don't shout it out. But if you don't, I want you to guess what my parents are named. Now think famous couples in history. Just shout it out. Bill and Hillary, good guesses. Now think biblical. Adam and Eve, there we go. Thank you, Margaret. I think you know now. So I like to tell people that they met on a beautiful fall day apple picking. It's not true, that's a lie. But they do kind of marry the Old Testament and the New Testament. My father is Jewish, mother is Catholic, and so as someone who's half Catholic and half Jewish, I just like to tell people that I have synergies of guilt that run through it. Just so you guys know, you're aware of those facts. It's a true story. I'm very blessed to have had, two lovely parents. My father passed away a few years ago. My mother is not here, but she is going to be on this campaign trail every day. And for those of you who know her, you know how hard she's going to work. You're going to get tired of seeing her knock on your doors and talk to you about me. But very lucky to have had these lovely parents. Also lucky in my 20s to have had lots of amazing educational opportunities. And as I was sort of having these, wonderful moments, I was really thinking, I'm making big plans. Plans for my life, plans for my family, plans for my career. And, I think simply put, I thought I had lots of time to do lots of things. And then life taught me a lesson. I think as many of you know, came back from my honeymoon. A few weeks later, I felt this lump in my neck. What is that? It's gonna go away. It didn't. A few weeks later, you're getting a phone call from a doctor saying, hey, you have cancer. And I got really lucky, right? I got a type of cancer that we had treatments for. I had access to some of the best medical care in the world, and I had friends and family support me throughout the process. And I realized how lucky that was, because a lot of people don't get one of those three things, let alone all three of them. But it's a tough process, right? And I think that ordeal really taught me a lesson, a really important lesson in life. That in the time we have here, we should do what we love in a place that we love. And I love public policy, and I love Jersey City. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I am a proud policy nerd, all right? If I'm not out with Gabby or watching a Penguins game, one of the things I enjoy most in the world, okay, is to curl up in bed with a glass of whiskey and a white paper. I actually enjoy reading those white papers. This is a true story. They're fun, all right? I also love this city, and I think I saw how special it was when I was sick. People that I had met once or twice in my life started knocking on my door. They brought me meals, they took me on walks, right? They showered Gabby and I with love. And one of the things that's so nice for me is to have this event here in Gia Gelato, So Debbie is the owner, Gia Gelato. Say hi, Debbie. Yeah. And I think prior to first coming in, and Debbie probably thought I was sort of like this grumpy guy who hadn't had his coffee yet. But then, during sort of my illness, Debbie we started to talk, started to ask me questions. How was I doing? Gave me free meals. Just made me feel like I was part of a loving community. And so thank you for doing that. It made a big difference in my recovery. But I don't think it's unique to Debbie. I think it's something that happens in Jersey City. And that's why I think this place is so special and why we need to sort of work to make it a better place. So a lot of people ask me, why am I running? You get that question a bunch, right? And I think the genesis starts when I took these walks when I was sick. I got to wander all around downtown. And as I was doing so, my policy brain started to churn. Why is the intersection at Grand and Jersey so unsafe? Okay? Why is the sidewalk at 7th and Monmouth closed by a developer for 2 years? 2 full years that sidewalk was closed, right? Why is that? Why is Exchange Place, with some of the most beautiful views in America, so empty, right? And the thought that kept coming back to me as I was going through and thinking about these questions was, we can do better, right? We can do better than building skyscraper after skyscraper without a plan to fit people on the PATH train, right? We can do better than pedestrian safety signs that serve as target practice for aggressive drivers. I guess some of you guys have seen them be run over multiple times, right? And I think we can do better than this political system we have in which donations are exchanged for tax breaks between developers and politicians. Right? We can do better. And we can only do better, right, if we have leaders that embody 3 values. So those are the 3 values I want to talk to you about tonight: being progressive, being principled, and being practical. So what does it mean to be progressive? I'm trying to define that, think about what it means. And the definition I kind of came up with was that to be progressive means that you understand the value of charity, but you don't confuse charity with justice. And you fight for justice. You fight for racial justice, you fight for economic justice, you fight for social justice. And especially for someone like me who benefits from a lot of inequities in our society, right? You have to make that fight even harder and in the real world, not just on Facebook. Occasionally I do it on Facebook too, but you make sure you have it in the real world. And that's why, a few months after chemo with Amy, I don't know where Amy is, somewhere around here, Amy and I, there you are, thank you, Amy. Amy and I co-founded the Jersey City for Hillary group in the general election. And we did so because we knew how important this election was going to be and what it was going to mean for our society. Obviously, didn't turn out the way we wanted. Spoiler alert. But, I think what it has done is created a new set of both challenges but also opportunities for Jersey City. So yes, we should use our local power to resist, but we should do more than that. We can do better. We can build a truly progressive city in Jersey City. So what does that look like? On immigration, yes, we can start as a sanctuary city, but we can go further. Right? We can be the most welcoming city for immigrants, starting with language access policies and legal aid, which we have not yet pursued. On the day that our Paris Climate Accord has been canceled, right, we can build one of the best climate resiliency policies in America in a place that floods frequently. And so many of you know when your basements get flooded, right? We can do that, but we can do better still. Right? We can address structural inequities that would exist in our city, Trump or no Trump. And the one that I sort of point to and want this campaign to address is lead poisoning. That's an issue that some of you may know about, some of you may not. So let me give you a little bit of facts. In the last decade, in downtown Jersey City, 07302, 5% of our kids tested positive for lead poisoning. That's a similar rate to Flint, Michigan. Now what does it mean to get lead poisoning? It means your IQ goes down, your impulsiveness goes up, and 10 years later, crime rates rise. Right? And now I think we all kind of know, probably in our hearts, think about it for a little bit, why we haven't solved this problem as a city or a society, right? Because so many of the kids who are being hurt are black, are brown, are poor. Right? But we can solve that problem here in Jersey City. We can't do it tomorrow, but we can do it. All right? Now being progressive is great, obviously. We like to, a few family and friends who may disagree with me, but for the most part, being progressive is great. But you can't just be progressive, you've also got to be principled, especially in a local political environment that so often encourages candidates to sacrifice their values. Right? And I'm proud to have a track record of principled leadership in Jersey City. Right? I see so many faces that we've all joined together as part of the Evict Trump Kushner campaign. Now, Jared made a choice to profit off the presidency. And as revelations have come out about his family in China and his dealings with Russia, our campaign has now suddenly become popular. But I can assure you that 3 months ago, there were people in City Hall making phone calls saying, do not sign the Evict Trump Kushner petition. Now, doing this work might have harmed my standing in City Hall, but it was the right thing to do. It's also the right thing to do for me to make a promise to you today, that this campaign won't accept any donations from Jersey City real estate developers. Now, I want to be clear, their development can be a very, very good thing, and there are very good real estate developers in this room right now, standing amongst you. They are good and decent people doing good things. But in our city, developers must pay their fair share. Right? Thank you. That's right. Especially when they develop on the most valuable land in America. Right? So what's a perfect example of how we can do better? Infrastructure. Right? We've seen immense growth over the last decade. We are planned to grow as a city by 25% in the next decade. All right? Do we have a plan for how to fit people on the PATH train? Do we have a plan for the constant water main breaks downtown? Do we have a plan for a bicycle infrastructure system? Maybe we're starting, we certainly don't have a credible plan, right?
Do you have a plan for young families that want to keep Jersey City
Yes.
this way?
So we were going to talk about that. We'll save that until the end, all right? So we have a plan for infrastructure in Jersey City, all right? So practical, principled, that's all good, but you got to get stuff done. And that's why, I said progressive, principled, you still got to get stuff done, and that's why you've got to be practical. And I think I have a lot of practical experience making government work. I worked for the city of Boston, and I was part of a team that filled 98% of potholes in 48 hours. Now, it wasn't rocket science, it wasn't glamorous, it was just a lot of conversations, a lot of time spent in yards across the city of Boston, right? Working with our public works crews, the guys who fill the potholes, showing them how to use apps, how to use Excel, just giving them the basic tools they need to do their jobs. And I think there's no better issue where I can apply those skills in Jersey City than pedestrian safety. To make Jersey City a truly safe city for pedestrians, here's what we need to do, all right? We need to modernize our parking authority, we need to give our traffic and engineering department more tools, and we need to make sure politically that safe streets is not a downtown issue, but a Jersey City issue. And I think we know that. We know that it's true. We know, sadly, that kids have been killed across this city, right? Not just downtown, because of unsafe driving and unsafe driving practices. And I know from attending protests, from attending actions throughout the city, that this is a problem we can solve. We solve it with education, we solve it with enforcement, but most importantly, we solve it with engineering that makes our roads safer and slows cars down. Right? We can do this and we can save lives. So that's what I think it takes to make Jersey City a better place, right? Values, courage, and a little bit of pragmatism. In other words, being progressive, principled, and practical. Right? Now, a lot of people have said to me, James, you seem sane. Why in a million years would you get involved in the world of Hudson County politics? A few people nodding. This is the question that many of you have had. So I want to give you a story that's going to help answer that. So a few months back, on March 1st, 2017, in the evening, sitting at home in bed, and my wife Gabby came into the room, and she said, James, guess what? And I said, hockey tickets? She said, no. We're pregnant. Very exciting. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. There was a lot of excitement. Sort of one of the truly genuinely joyous things you can have someone say to you in the world. And then I thought for a little bit. And I thought about how our investment in this community was bigger than the two of us, right? And so Gabby and I are going to want our kid to be able to cross the street safely, play in a clean park, go to a high-quality public school. And that's the same thing every family in Jersey City wants. And it's not the same thing every person in Jersey City wants. And that's why it's not okay that our city is operating at 60% of potential, 70% of potential. Whatever number you want to assign to it, it's not close to 100, right? And we can do better, and we must do better. Thank you. So I want to close with this. I'm still pretty fired up. Some of you guys are probably Obama campaign folks. Can we do fired up, ready to go? Fired up? Ready to go! Fired up? Ready to go! Awesome, that's music to my ears. So, missing that. So, here's what I know, right? I know that I'm not running with the machine, right? So that means I don't have the development dollars and the city workers that power Jersey City campaigns. One of the new folks here was asking me, like, what does it mean that we have a local machine? And I'm like, well, the city workers actually run the campaigns. That's actually what they do. So we don't have that, right? But what I do have is you, right? I have every single person in this room. And I need you, but more importantly than me, this city needs you, right? Because we need better politics and we need better policies. So I'm asking you today to join me and join this campaign. Volunteer, make phone calls, knock on doors, and together we can make Jersey City a better place. Thank you. I want to introduce you all to Matt for a quick second. What Matt's going to do is just tell you a little bit about some of the volunteer opportunities that you guys have available to you. And then after Matt's done, you're free to hang, mingle. I'd love to obviously say hi to every one of you. We have food, gelato, beer and wine. Enjoy yourselves. So thank you for being here. Get on the soapbox.